fucking found this. Pizza's my thing, and like I've been
P-
searching for like the
Pizza is
best
my passion.
Zaz, and like every time I find a pizza that's like fucking bomb.com, I tell Maddie, I'm like, look, this is my new favorite. Like, this is it. And she looks at me and she's like, it's just fucking pizza. And I go, just fucking pizza, dude?
Just pizza, dude.
Just pizza, dude? And again, I feel like her hatred towards me loving pizza is because I literally ordered Pizza Hut when she delivered. So they delivered when she was delivering.
Wow.
And I think that's why she hates it so much. Because I got the family box because I thought, hey, we just started a family. Therefore, it's fitting.
Wow. Father of the year.
Anyway,
Father of the year, everybody.
I said,
Welcome.
you want some? You want some? It's fresh. They just brought it in. It's pepperoni, your favorite.
Welcome
I
back
got some Cinesticks.
to Drawn to DC. Drawn to DC number 9. We are number 9. Justice League Dark. And it is dark, everybody. Our first R-rated movie for the
Which
Drawn to DC.
I like this one a lot. I really did.
I
And I think
really like this one.
and I think that it's one of those films where it kind of shows that you can differentiate. You can differ from the other universe.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
feel like this one shows like what DC the main continuity like the live action could be
mhm.
with it being dark because the whole idea of the DCU is we need to play catch up and we need to match the formula that is the Avengers and Marvel Cinematic
Yeah.
Universe. And it's like the Avengers and Marvel and everything is so colorful and happy and hopeful
Yeah.
and everything. And I just like the thing that makes the DC work is that it's dark, depressing, and just it's just the complete opposite. So just take it and run with it, dude. You don't
Well,
need it to be fun.
the whole time I was thinking while watching this was I hope with James Gunn in the DCEU is they kind of embrace the more supernatural side, and I
Yeah.
hope they embrace the magic side. We
Which is
already
funny because years ago, when Suicide Squad came out, we said, do not do magic. Do not do this. This was a fucking fail in so many aspects. But if you do it right, it can work so many wonders.
yeah, I mean this movie for sure has its moments of like wow. Um a great example of me watching these, as we do, we usually record 2 episodes at once, so we usually watch movies back to back, and it was such a weird, fun, interesting experience watching these, going from Justice League versus Teen Titans to Justice League Dark, where it is this movie really goes out of its way in the first couple scenes to really establish its tone and really be like,
Hmm.
okay, we're going in a very, very different direction
Well,
because
the first thing we see is a
is
lady
a
freaking
woman
out because of
running
demons.
down civilians
She's just fucking running them over because she thinks
because
that they're fucking demons.
she, yeah, views them as demons. And
And
um
then
there's a scene where
Wonder Woman stops her,
I only
and
see
she does
one
the
demon.
whole. Yeah, that was solid. That was great. But then you kind of go through the um the league of like they're all in their own town. They're saving people that are having these same incidents.
Yeah.
Because you go to Superman and fucking this dude is got his this monster
Shotgun.
on gunpoint, shotgun,
Double barrel shotgun.
and he's like, "What the fuck did you do with my family? What did you do with my family? I'm not gonna ask again." And she keeps saying, "We are your family.
Yeah.
These are your kids.
Yeah.
And as he pulls the fucking trigger, Superman jumps in, bends the gun in half, and he's like, I had to, because it's not right. You'll see in the shed
Oh my
what I'm talking
god.
about. And he's got a whole fucking like slew of bodies in this bitch. And he's got
Yeah.
two of them fucking hanging,
Yeah.
like dark
So
and scary.
again,
And then,
watching it with
and
my
then,
wife. Well, watching it with my wife, the first scene was enough to kind of grab your attention. Like, oh, we're going in a much different tone with this movie. But the scene with the shotgun, my wife was like, "Oh my god!" And then the next
and
scene
then,
that you were alluding
and then,
to, where the woman is standing on the ledge of this
and
skyscraper
she's like, I just
with a
gave birth to
baby,
Satan. I
with
gave birth to the devil.
a newborn child.
In Batman, it says, give the child to me. It's okay.
I don't know about your wife, but my wife, whenever there's a newborn, like if there's ever a situation where there's a baby or a child or anything like that, she doesn't like it. She kind of turns off to it a little bit. And she looks at me and she's like, I don't want to watch this shit. Like, she's just like, yeah. I'm like, well, I look at her and I go, well,
Yeah.
obviously Batman is going to save the fucking baby. Like, that's what I kept reassuring her. But
Which
yeah, holy shit.
there's like two parts of this like 30-second clip where you're like, fuck. Because Batman's trying so hard to save this baby because he knows what she's trying to do. She does it. He fucking swoops down, saves the baby, grapples up, and she fucking jumps and kills herself because she can't handle the fact that even though this is a demon child that she thinks, she tried to kill her baby. So she
Yeah.
commits suicide. Splats on the fucking ground.
You know what I said after that while I was watching it? I go, and then that baby became Batgirl. No, I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, yeah. No, I was already thinking to myself, I was like, well, there's the newest sidekick,
New
the
Robin.
newest addition to the Bat
Yeah.
family.
Well, what's funny enough, before that even, I love the scene because before that was Superman because Wonder Woman stops the woman that was running down everybody. Um, well, Superman when he says you should see what's in the set, immediately it cuts to Superman like lasering his laser beam through the doors. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then looking at that guy being like, what the fuck did you do? Like, it was kind of interesting to see all the members, like the Trinity, in their sequences, kind of have that moment of like legitimate like disgust and like empathy of like they really do care about the people they're protecting and being like, oh my god, like one woman saying like I see only one demon after this woman says, oh my gosh, I had to fight all these demons, and it just shows all these dead people, and it's like one woman being like, I only see one demon right now, and one and Superman going into that shed like breaking down the door of that shed to see what's there to be like, what the fuck happened. Like I love it. I know my wife doesn't love it, but I love it because it does a great job of establishing tone. It does an amazing job of setting you like, oh, this
Mm-hmm.
is not what we're used to in these other animated movies or these other Justice League movies. This is something else. And um I on one level I see why she was upset because I was too, because it's like that's so fucked up. But
Yeah.
narratively, I'm like, okay, we're clearly setting a tone here that this is going to be outside of what we're used to with these DC movies. So that is a great
Which
establishing thing.
kind of gets us into the ball sack of the thing. Because
Yeah,
I forgot Deadman was in this, which I think is a fucking
which is the dude. You know who
cool
the voice?
character.
Do you know who voices him?
I looked it
It's
up. I don't remember.
it's the Brucey from the Longest Yard remake. The dude who said, "Oh, I shouldn't have ate popcorn." It's
Oh
Brucey's
no
time to
shit.
shine. He's Dead Man.
Nice.
It's funny.
Which I love his thick ass Boston accent, which is
Yeah,
funny that his name is Boston, which whatever.
yeah. Well,
But
and this movie
Bruce is
does,
shaving and he cuts himself, and
yeah.
then you see all this fucking
Constantine.
shit written around. But then
Um,
it's when he finally meets him, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
Did you have to fucking write on my walls like a kindergartner?
Well, it's like we said last episode. What I love about this movie with the other animated movies is it does a great job of telling you, the audience, who might be a broader audience of like who these characters are real fast, and it kind of describing who they are. Um, because this is the first time that we've really seen DC kind of lean into their more occult or their more
Hmm.
supernatural leanings of the DCU.
Which the Dead Man storyline is really cool because, um,
Oh, that sequence was awesome. I loved how they did
yeah,
that
when he's
sequence.
doing the acrobat
Yes.
shit,
Yes. And
like,
then he sticks the landing of the trapeze thing, but it's him as a ghost. I was like, that's such a cool
yeah,
visual. That's
and then
such a
the body's
cool.
laying there with blood
Yes, I
pouring
fucking
out.
love that. I fucking love
Dude,
that.
there's an alternate story for Dead Man, and I don't know if it's like after Boston becomes Dead Man and then he passes on. But there's like, I don't remember what. There's a movie I'm pretty sure, or like a episode or something. But after he's Nightwing, Dick Grayson dies and becomes the Dead Man, which I think is cool as shit too, because it's kind of the same character because he was an acrobat and he
Yeah.
was an acrobat. They're both, and I think that storyline's cool because it's the Egyptian god, or whatever, basically just taking somebody to enforce justice for the undead,
Yeah.
which I think is this is cool because the whole idea of being able to see supernaturals too, and that's like something we see with Constantine saying, "I'm not gonna fucking just be a translator for you motherfuckers,"
Oh my
and
god,
so he
yeah.
makes it so Batman can see him,
Yeah.
which is
Well,
funny, which is gonna come into my
well, even
rating
even
later.
even before that, I loved the fact that we got the opening sequence and then we got a flashback sequence of Constantine. So we established who Constantine is
Mhm.
for a more broader audience. And
And then we
I
get the Jason Blood Etrigan
well, I love the fact that
with Merlin.
he's having a poker game with demons. And that kind of
Hmm.
establishes like, yeah, this is who John Constantine is. And it was around the new 52 continuity and around that time where we're kind of seeing DC push Constantine more into the main continuity. And I thought that whole sequence was fun, and the fact that he forced Jason Blood to become Etrigan where Jason Blood didn't want to, and he forced him out, and we're introduced to Etrigan. And I talked to my wife with this about how I just love Etrigan as a character because
Dude, I do too.
he's such a
He's so
weird
cool.
aspect of the DC universe, and like the fact that he has this need to constantly rhyme, and the fact that he's tied to Jason Blood and all that stuff. Like again,
Dude, the
I just wish that DC with their live action stuff and more of that
to
would just
do shit like
embrace
this,
it, because I feel like DC, and again this might be my bias, but I just feel like DC kind of has a little bit more of a leg up in terms of versus Marvel in terms of the supernatural aspect
yeah. I
and
just
the
I just think
witchcraft.
that a cool like Camelot based movie would be so cool, of just like centered around Jason Blood, and like right before the third act,
Hmm.
you see him become tethered to the demon Etrigan, and you see him in the final act of this movie. I think that would be so cool.
Yeah.
And then you would have an after credit scene of it being Jason Blood in like current times and how he meets the Justice League and shit like that. I think that would be fucking dope.
Yeah.
But we can't get that because we keep having to restart. We keep having to fucking do all this shit.
No, dude. Truth be told, I really think that James Gunn is going to kind of play with that a little bit more. I think he's going
I
to play with
I just
the
wish that they
supernatural
would
a little more.
slow down and not having fucking 1,000 fucking superheroes in this goddamn fucking legacy movie.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of into it.
I'm like, dude, holy, like, how are you gonna fucking pack all that shit in there?
I trust him though. I trust James Gunn.
Man,
Come on, you know you do
I
too.
don't know, man. I'm still a Snyder cultist a little bit. Like I
Uh,
hate to admit it, but
you're gonna tell me
I know it's
you're
not
gonna
happening.
ignore how great Suicide Squad is. You're gonna ignore how great Peacemaker is, and, and how great those
No, okay,
Guardians of the
okay,
Galaxy
all right.
movies are.
I'm not denying all that. I'm not denying all that. What I am trying to is he says one thing and then he does another. And that's what I have a problem with because he keeps saying like I'm gonna erase all this. It doesn't matter. And then he does things and reshoots and stuff. And then he like goes back into another movie and does something completely different. Because he added the credit scene with in the Shazam movie with the fucking people from Suicide
JSA,
Squad.
yeah.
And he did that with the JSA, and then he fucking says I'm
I'll have you.
pulling Ben
Hey,
Affleck from Aquaman because we
if
don't
the
want false hope.
yeah,
And it's like, dude, you did all this
in
shit with
blue,
the
if
Flash movie, and
somehow
then you did all this shit with Shazam, and then now you're saying we're not gonna do this with this.
Blue
But like,
Beetle somehow is tied to the new DCU and all that. But I digress. Excuse me. Justice League Dark. So we have a meeting with the JL, and they pretty much say like, "Hey, could it be magic?" And Batman, who is look, and we'll talk about this too later when we do this. When we get to um the Justice Society World War II movie, what they did with this is very similar to that, where they took a commonly known character and they attached that character to this to say, hey, this is how he can bring in a more broad audience. So Batman is like, I don't believe in this shit. I don't believe in magic and whatever. So then, yeah, then he's shaving. Then we get the messages of Constantine. We just see Constantine everywhere. Then
so
we
then
get
he
the
goes and visits
title
Zatanna.
card, and then we go to the Constantine.
So he goes to meet Zatanna because
Or
Zatanna is
Zatanna,
tied to
yes.
Constantine, and so she's like,
They had a
I don't know
fling.
where he is. And then the dead man comes in, and he's like, bro, we need to go find Constantine. And then
He
Zatanna's like,
possesses
all right, I
Batman
know
and says,
where.
"Hey, Zatanna, we need to convince Bruce to go see Constantine." And then
Yeah,
she just
he's
goes,
like,
"Oh,
this dude's fucking mind is hard to control,
yeah."
which was funny.
And they're driving in the
But
car,
I want to go
and
back
Deadman's like,
to
"This
when
sucks."
we first see Constantine. And he's at the poker game and he's fighting the demons, and he beheads the two demons. Etrigan does, and then they get all sucked back into hell. And fucking the one
You,
guy says,
your ass is
Constantine,
grass,
your ass is crass,
and we're
and
the
we're the
lawn.
lawnmower.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that made me laugh. So yeah, Batman goes to visit Constantine. He's at the House of Mystery. Which I will say this, we will probably cover this movie at some point. I don't think I have it on the list, but it is a movie we will cover because funny enough, as I was describing who Constantine was to my wife, being like, well, he's kind of like DC's Doctor Strange, but not a little bit different, but yeah, he's pretty much DC's Doctor Strange. He's this like he knows about the dark arts and he's good at the dark arts and whatever. Um Last year when Multiverse of Madness was coming out, DC did release an animated movie called House of Mystery that very much felt like, oh, DC. And it's just funny because you can always point out when these two companies rip each other off. And House of
Yeah.
Mystery, based on what I've seen, was definitely like their version of a Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, then we get introduced to Constantine's House of Mystery and all that stuff, and we kind of set up Batman being a part of this. Batman is the funniest fucking thing about this movie because he sticks out like a sore fucking thumb in this movie. He should not be in this movie. He only exists to bring a mainstream audience into
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
paranormal
Because
side of the DC.
because 90% of his dialogue is
It's
him just
just
growling.
grunts. It's just
It's
grunts.
just grunts.
Hum.
Mm.
Mm.
Uh,
Or throwing a batarang at something. He just
yeah.
throws a batarang at things.
Yep.
See what'll happen.
Yep.
But yeah, he shows up with Zatanna, and they're like, "Hey, we need to figure this shit out." And he's like, "Well, we need a key. We gotta go to my buddy Richie." So they go to Richie, and this was cool. I really dug this. This was so good because this is this is great when when writers know how to use Batman as comic relief. So they show up to their Constantine friends Richie's house, but it's surrounded by what they call shrouds, who are like these pretty much death, waiting to carry him to hell because he's dying. And they're like, "Oh, this one has escaped us many times." They're hovering around Batman, and he just goes, "Ooh," like that to one of them, and they jump back, and I'm like, "That's so like this is a funny little thing." And like, oh, Batman does have a sense of humor. Before that, yes, like you mentioned earlier, we get the description of Constantine being like, "I'm not fucking playing telephone with you guys. Here's Dead Man. He's on the plane of existence with us.
Which
You can hear him. I don't want to fucking deal with this."
there's a thing that's gonna come into my rating for the animation style.
I
And
love the
it's like prior
transparent thing. Yeah, I love that.
I was gonna say the thing that I have a problem with, and it's because of this, is when they're in the car, he's back and forth, transparent and solid, transparent and solid. And then when Constantine says, "Hey, I'm not doing this," and then he's solid, it would have been so much better if they would have kept it as him being transparent up until that point. Because there's
I thought he
like a
was.
scene, there's a couple of scenes, like even just in the car when they're talking, where he like is in and out of transparency, and I noticed that right away, and I was mad about it. And then he did the whole we're gonna make you so you can see him, and he was just a solid animation, and that bothered me because I was like mad about it, and then they did that, and then I was like even more mad about it. So that's gonna bring my rating down a couple, just because
Oh, dude.
I'm nitpicking at this point.
Wow.
Anyway,
Um. So
when we first see Richie though, my first thought was, what the fuck is this hairstyle? It's a ponytail mullet. I don't get it. Just
so
why?
yeah, we find out Richie is dying. He's a little bit resentful to. Oh my god, dude! When Constantine is trying to ask for the key, and he was like, "To be honest, you might as well just
You're
give
not
it to
gonna
us."
need it anyway.
Yeah, I was like, "Damn, that's so funny." But that again, that is very much Constantine's character. He's kind of a dry asshole, so it kind of works perfectly. So they get this key to continue the story. They go to the hospital. So what they're doing is they're going to the guy that had the double barrel shotgun pointed at his
To kind of
family.
see what caused all the fucking
Why
trauma.
did he do that? Why was he seeing demons? Like, what's caused the spikes? So while that's happening, a literal shit demon shows up.
Fucking turd
Oh
monster.
my god! So I
What the fuck?
the whole time I'm watching this, I was thinking of the movie Dogma, the Kevin Smith movie, because that's in like there's a shit demon in that movie, and that shows up, and I was like, wait a minute, because again, this is vividly remember the hospital scene when it first came out. I remember that scene because I thought it was fucking awesome. I love that scene, and I totally forgot it was a shit demon, and so I laughed even harder at it. But this is what's great about it is Dead Man. I love his character of like jumping through bodies and trying to get. He's like, come on. He jumps to a fat guy and he can't do anything. He's like, eat a fucking piece of fruit. And so then he jumps to another guy that's more athletic that can kind of help him.
The first one we saw was they're doing this fucking séance on this body in the not the morgue, but in the
And then
hospital.
Constantine and
And he
Zatanna
hops
just
into a
go into their
nurse.
brain.
And he
Oh
hops
yeah.
into a nurse.
She's like, we're gonna
And
call
she's
the
like, "What the
cops.
fuck?"
And
And
then so
he
he
goes,
jumps into her and he's like,
"I'll
hey,
make sure
man.
nobody bothers you guys."
Yeah. But again, this is where Batman continues to stick out like a sore
He just
thumb.
stands there and watches.
He's like, all right, I guess.
He's like,
so then when the shit, I mean, he does some things when the shit demon shows up, but it's also like, what can I do? So he throws some things, lights it on fire, and then the shit demon manages to hit the fire alarm to douse itself out. And as it's coming
it's
to him,
soaked with water, so he gets the
but
defibrillator
but I
to
love
shock
this
it.
because this is Batman. He's like, oh, I'm gonna crank up this defibrillator and shock it because it's wet now. And then meanwhile, they're going through his memories, and then as that's happening, the shit demon's making its way to the dude who had the double barrel shotgun to get Constantine and Zatanna because they're in there. Like it was just, oh man, there's a shot where Dead Man is in possessing a body of a security guard, and there's a couple shots where this animation is shot like live action, where the camera is upside down and like spins around like down the hallway, and I was like, that's such a fucking cool shot. Like I really dug that. Like the hospital scene was one of my favorite parts in the movie because they tried so many different things in that sequence, and I was like, that's really cool. Like the fact that they went upside down and then spun the camera around to like right side up and then like pulled into him, I just thought was really cool. um so they get this little like ring as an item to be like, oh, this is the next thing to the story. um and then they go back to the house of mystery, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they go back to Richie's house because they're like Richie's the only one that could tell us who's that because he's a
Yeah,
collector of
and
artifacts
he's
and
closer
he
to
probably
death.
knows who's got that ring. So he's basically dying. They're ripping his soul out, and then
Richie's
Batman
been dying
fucking
for a long. Oh my god, dude, that scene was so.
adrenaline.
God damn it, that scene was so cool. Like when you literally see his
He's
soul.
like, I got my thing. You guys have your magic or whatever.
Not everything needs magic, and he fucking. Because he's like, yeah, his soul is getting pulled from his
Which
body, and then
again,
Batman just like, all
when it
right,
happens,
adrenaline.
Richie comes to and he's like basically in
Why?
tears, like,
Why?
why?
Let me die. That's so good. Dude, I'm like, this movie, like, as someone who loves horror movies, as someone who loves like supernatural shit, like this was just hitting all the right notes for me. Like, because I remember watching it when it first came out and really digging it. And I will tell you this, I had the same thought then as the same thought I have now. Batman again is so fucking pointless in this movie, but I love that he's in it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, he just adds to it in some way where it's just like he's so pointless, but he adds to it. But yeah, the fact that he fucking hits him with adrenaline to save his life was just so perfect. Because yeah, and again, it goes back to like the dead man origin and death sequence. Like it does a great job of playing with like your perception and playing with like how you would view it. Like, oh, they're ripping his soul out, and then Batman hits him with adrenaline, and his soul goes right back into his body. Or like, oh, he sticks the landing, but there's his dead body on the ground. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many cool shots in this movie that you don't see in the other DC movies, in my opinion. But we get that, and then we find out more about the ring, and then Jason Blood's there. Before even all that, we think Jason Blood kills Richie.
Right.
So they chase Jason Blood, and then we get Jason Blood's backstory, which was fucking mwah! I love it so much.
Yeah.
Dude, give me a fucking Etrigan movie. I want to see
That's
that
what I'm
shit.
saying, dude.
I love
That's
Etrigan.
what I'm fucking saying, dude.
So we go back to the Middle Ages, 500 years in the past. We see this big war. Jason Blood is a knight.
Destiny.
The fucking wizard Merlin has Etrigan as is tied to him. Oh my god, dude. Alfred Molina. Fucking Doc Ock is Destiny in this movie. Oh, can't gush enough about Alfred Molina's accent. You know what's funny? I didn't know he was British at first when I was a kid and like watching the Spider-Man.
Dude, a lot of times.
I didn't know he was British.
I didn't know fucking Christian Bale was British until fucking like I don't know.
Because he would do his American accent when he would do interviews, so you wouldn't know. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Preach to me about Etrigan.
Dude, Etrigan the demon.
He rhymes. Come on.
And I love how Constantine points that out toward the end. He's like,
stop with the fucking rhymes.
He's like, Killjoy. And he fucking goes into fucking
John Constantine calls me once more, and he's about to say whore. He's like, stop with the damn rhyme.
So stupid.
So yeah, we get the backstory of Etrigan and Jason Blood, and I fucking think that's such a cool, again, DC, you've got so many cool fucking characters. Lean into that shit. Lean into it. The fact that Jason Blood is immortal because he's tied to Etrigan, that's fucking awesome.
Dude, it has so much potential to be so great, and yet we just don't
And we don't tap into its potential. We just don't.
This is
That's
like
okay. With the
10,000
movie
years of human evolution, and we barely even tapped.
back to formula. Um, that's the thing too. Like this whole this this whole Etrigan origin story is kind of like the only time this movie justifies its R rating. I feel like because there's a lot of bloodshed, but I'm like, I saw this in Son of Batman. To be honest with you, I don't know why this movie's rated
Yeah,
R. But
slicing dudes and chopping heads and
so that's how he gets set up with who Destiny is. He's like this Dr. Destiny is this big fucking wizard of the time. He's got this like artifact that is I don't even know. It's essentially this artifact is what makes the people in the beginning of the movie crazy. It changes your perception of like you think everything's a demon and drives you crazy. That's why all the people were killing each other in the beginning of the movie. We kind of have that set up. And then a cool moment where Jason Blood tries to grab it and it's fake. Where Constantine's like, why would I just fucking have that out? Are you kidding me? Why would I have this
which
artifact?
it's the whole idea of the house that it protects everything so that the
Oh,
nobody can just take his shit.
I love that. I love that the house is its character. Like the House of Mystery is its own character. I dug that a lot.
And then it creates its own like body to experience
Well, shit. When
human
Batman's
emotion
trying
and
to get
shit.
there in the first place, it creates a tornado and destroys the Batmobile. And Deadman's like, "Hey, sorry about the Batmobile."
It's like I hope that was insured, man.
Well, and Ashley sitting next to me is like, "Oh, the
Mhm.
Batmobile," and I'm like, "He'll just buy a new one." That's what my first thought was when that happened. But yeah, the house. I love that the house is a character. That's always fun, and that comes into the story later. Actually, enough like it has a purpose. I feel like so much of this movie has a purpose, and like everything is paid off, everything is told, and again goes back to what we talked about, like for fuck's sake, when we talked about with Justice League War. It's like there's so DC has so much good lore and so much good built-in lore. Like,
Mhm.
why not utilize this shit, dude? Like, why not? It's just frustrating. And you can make a really solid Constantine movie outside of Keanu Reeves because that movie is nowhere near what Constantine is. It's really
But I
not.
love it. I really like that movie. I
I
enjoy it.
I enjoy that movie too. I
But
do.
but if it's its own thing,
Yes.
is it's a different if it's a different realm of the universe because it's so far off. It has its shit, but
What did you think of Destiny's design in the flashback and then his new design at the end? Because his new design is fucking gnarly. I
well, he's been
love.
like rotting. He's basically rotting for 500 years.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
he's basically been in hell for 500 years. So the fact that he's Skeletor, pretty much,
Skeletor.
I like it.
So then they fight Felix what was his name?
Faust,
Faust.
Felix Faust.
So they fight him.
So they go to Richie as he's on his deathbed, and he's like, "I want him to see this as soon as he wakes up, so he can tell us what it is."
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Felix Faust." So they go and they fight him, and this whole time,
Zatanna can't talk.
Constantine,
So Zatanna can't cast spells and
which
talk.
is fucking a baller fucking move on Faust's fucking.
I'm so glad I watched this with my wife because she's like, well, fuck that guy. Like immediately was like, no women can talk in my sanctum sanctorum.
He's like, "That's for you, for my benefit, and all you men out
And all the whole
there."
world. And she's like, well, fuck this guy.
Yeah, but like the whole time leading up to this, you have
Dude, that
this
fight was awesome. That whole fight was
you
great.
have this thing of Zatanna and Constantine having this like back and forth
Because
of
they were like a
they used to be in
couple.
a thing and basically he was trying to teach her the dark arts. She was like, no, I don't want to be tethered to that because I can't control it. I can't.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like I don't know how you do it, kind of thing. And so she kind of taps into it in this fight, and she's gonna fucking murder this dude. And Constantine just hops in front of it, and she like fucking pube hair's length stops
Yeah.
the
He's
shit
like,
from
no,
killing
no,
him.
no, no. But my favorite thing about this fight too was where this movie has to justify Batman being involved, being a part of it. So they're like, it addresses it, and it's like, I this is what I love. And I want to get your perspective on this. I love it when a movie has a setup where I'm like, I know where this payoff is going, but I want
Mm-hmm.
it to be executed properly. And I think this scene does that, where he like Batman immediately pulls out his grapple gun thing, and he's like, "That's your little pea shooter. That's not gonna work in this situation." And then it does pay off later in the scene, and I'm like, "That okay? Yes, I love that." Like,
And then he apologizes. He's like, "Yeah,
oh,
that
I guess
actually
it
does
does
do
work
shit."
because, like, obviously that's gonna come into play, right? Like, you had to know that was gonna solve the situation. So Faust, yeah, he's just kind of fucking everybody up, and then yeah, you have Batman help out, and dude, with the shit demon, I laughed so hard because it was Batman. He literally does not say a fucking line of dialogue. He just goes, "Hmm," and then continues on. And I feel like Batman does that so much throughout this movie. Or like one point he goes, "Your anger is justified, but we need this thing that clearly will move the plot along."
Yeah, he's like, and
I
then
can't. Okay,
Swamp Thing.
so I can't
I can't
remember.
remember exactly when he
Was
shows up for the
Swamp
first
Thing
time.
before Faust or after Faust?
I can't remember.
Either way,
He shows up twice. I think it's before.
well,
I
yeah,
think it's like right
because
before.
he shows up at the final fight for a little bit. But Luke, you know this. I fucking adore Swamp Thing as a character. I
It
love
was
it.
underutilized in
I
this
love
movie.
I love
He
Swamp
served
Thing.
no point.
Um, well, I think he's before because I think he helps them get to
Yeah,
Faust.
because he helps them get there.
Yeah. So
Which
Swamp
again,
Thing is in this movie, and this is again, I don't know about you, but if I ever I watch one of these things with my wife, I like to like kind of flex my lore knowledge. So he said Alec, and I totally forgot about it, but he's Constantine mentions Alec Holland, and I go, oh yeah, fuck, I forgot Swamp Thing's in this, is what I said. And so he almost burns of like a little bit of vegetation to get Swamp Thing's attachment to the green, and it's a little frustrating because Luke knows me, but I love Swamp Thing. I love him as a character. I've always like the fact that James Gunn and the dude who did Logan, James Mangold, are like they want to make a Swamp Thing movie makes my pants tight because I
well,
fucking love
I
Swamp
didn't
Thing.
watch any of it. I don't know if you watched it.
I
The
never watched
CW
this.
tried to do a
No,
Swamp
well,
Thing
I never watched the show, but I read the Alan Moore comics, and I fucking love Swamp Thing, and I want to see more of him.
because
So
they got scrapped like after the first couple episodes.
yeah, first season they didn't even make it past the first season.
Yeah,
Um. So Swamp
which
Thing
is
is in
sad.
this, but yeah, I agree with you. I think
He's useless.
he's kind of underutilized, and um. So what happens is Richie the stone that we talked about. Richie is dying, but he's been manipulated by Destiny. Doctor Destiny comes back through the stone, and that's
He
how we get
uses it as a cure
yes
for
to
his
cure, and
disease.
then Destiny uses Richie as like kind of like a conduit situation. That's how we get the third act. Um, and they have a big fight, and everybody keeps fighting, and Destiny keeps kicking everybody's teeth in,
And then
and
Batman's
so
like, the
like
league's been called, they're on their way. And he goes, ah, you fucking idiot.
yeah. So
Because
so so John Stewart. By the way, before this, we forgot to mention this. John Stewart's filling in for Hal Jordan, which I think is funny because like the two movies that we've watched, Hal Jordan kind of yeeted out of there because he wasn't in Justice League versus Teen Titans, and then John Stewart's filling in for Hal Jordan in this movie. And yeah, so Destiny comes back, and so what we saw at the beginning of the movie is happening again. Like he's having the influence where everybody thinks everything's demons, so everybody's fighting each other and all that shit. Um, but what I mean by Swamp Thing being underutilized, he shows up in the fight. Does like I'll be honest, like Swamp Thing's fight with Destiny is actually pretty badass. Like it's kind of cool shit. But then Destiny's like, yeah, well, you think you're a man still, and pulls Alec Holland's corpse out of Swamp Thing, which was a cool visual. And you see like a tear coming out of Swamp Thing's face, and it's like it kind of perfectly encapsulates Swamp Thing as a character, but then he just kind of disappears. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude, it's such a waste because Swamp Thing is so cool, and I just wish they would have done more with him. But that's me being a Swamp Thing stan. So like everybody's fighting Destiny, and he keeps fucking rocking everybody's shit. And eventually, one of my favorite parts of this is when Constantine looks at Deadman. He's like, "I'm thinking of a horse," and he's like, "Did you get hit in the head or something? What the fuck do you mean a horse? You know what I mean?" And so then he's like,
It's
"No,
like no more like a Trojan kind.
yeah." So then Constantine gets sucked into his little force, which made a good point. I don't remember who said it. Might have been Deadman, but he's like, if you're a god, why do you need a force field? Because he has this like round force field around him the whole time. So then Constantine like goads Destiny in the whole fight, and then Constantine eventually beats him and saves the day.
Well, we get the Jason Blood shows up, and then
Oh yeah,
Constantine
Etrigan
asks him.
fights him, and
He
then
asks him, and
dude,
he says, "I'm glad you asked this time." And so he does the
yeah, at least you asked. So then they're fighting, and then Destiny makes a good point to reference their origin story. It was like, I've been waiting 500 years for this, and like rips Jason Blood away from Etrigan. So it's, that whole situation. And then again, I want to try and see if she'll watch more of these because I love watching movies with my wife because she's like, oh, they got separated, and there's the whole thing, and then they have the fight. Constantine saves the day. And then at the end, which was actually, I'll be honest, was kind of sweet. It was a kind of a sweet moment where because after all that happens, Jason Blood finally starts to bleed out, and they're like, wait, he didn't get stabbed or anything. But then Constantine's like, well, he was only immortal because he was attached to Etrigan.
So now that he's
not attached to him, he's going to die.
The injury he got back 500 years ago is again.
So then my wife going like, oh, because my thought was like, well, my thought when it happened, not seeing it forever, I was like, oh, there goes his immortality. That's immediately where my mind went, like I knew he was going to die,
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, he has this whole thing, and he goes, "There's no other."
And the little send off over the tomb was pretty.
His
crazy.
his little poem where he's in front of the front of the gravestone. He's like, "There's no other mortal I consider a brother," and I was like, "Oh!" Like in my head, I was like, "Oh, that's really sweet." And then my wife was like, "Oh." It's kind of sweet. I was
it is because after 500 years of being in the same body,
to each other, and that's kind of what's great about this movie is there's so much like really gnarly dark shit, but there's a lot of heart to it. You know what I mean? I feel like
at this point, Richie, Destiny is debunked, so Richie gets his body back, and he falls, and he's basically about to die.
Oh, this scene was great. Yeah.
The fucking spooks come back, and he keeps screaming to Constantine, like, bro, save me. And he basically just said, nah, fuck you. Because I don't know if Destiny's still controlling you or not. And they pull his fucking soul into hell. That shit was fucked up. Fucking dark as shit.
Well, before that, when Richie becomes, when Destiny takes over Richie's body, Constantine's like, this is what I get for having friends.
But before that, Richie, because the house was trying to stop him, and he said,
"Oh my god,
dude,
the host of the house, gnarly, dude.
The host of the house told you that you have to do anything to help me, so you can't kick me or punch me. So it's time for you to take a walk."
Because every time she tried to hit him, it would fire. Every time she tried to hit him, it would freeze. Yeah.
So she walks into the fucking fireplace.
The
and you
animation
see
of
her
her
face just
skin
melting off.
peeling off was fucking gnarly. I was like, damn. Like, I guess
Hmm.
maybe that and the Etrigan origin would probably be the R rating, but I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I loved
But
it.
then
I
the
love this
ending of the
movie.
movie, him and Constantine and Zatanna go back to the house to have a little nightcap to kind of,
Oh yeah, by the
rekindle some
way,
shit.
we forgot to mention Zatanna is completely out of the final fight after the fight with god damn it, I keep forgetting his name.
Faust.
Faust. After the fight with Faust and then Richie turning into Destiny, he like put like a protective spell over her. And she was completely out of the final fight. But then yeah, Constantine meets up with she shows up like, what did I miss?
So then they go back to the house, have a little drink, and then the dead man is just watching, and the house entity is reborn, and she's standing in the doorway, and he goes, "Oh, we gonna fuck?" And he flies in to like meet up with her, like,
Yeah, yeah. He fucks Black Orchid or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, because like the whole thing is the house says that it's a soul that's not tethered to the to reality and stuff. So it's kind of like me, and he saw that as a we're gonna fuck.
I will say, when Destiny takes over and Constantine's like, "Hey, dead man, see if you can get in the house," and he just fucking gets zapped and gets zapped back, and he's
I
like,
say that's a no.
yeah, I say that's a no." It's like reeling off of
Yeah,
him.
this shit's funny.
Man, you know what, man, I really fucking enjoyed this movie, and I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. I had seen it once before, and yeah, I really dug it. I mean, if you can get past the opening, because the opening is pretty hardcore, and I think that's intentional to kind of like
Hmm.
set a tone for you. It's a fun ride, and I really enjoyed this one. So let's get to the row ratings. Of course, we do this out of 7 because there's 7 members of the Justice League. Oh, by the way, Luke, hope you enjoyed this because the next Justice League Dark movie is the fucking death of this continuity. It's Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, and it is dark as shit. So it's like
Yeah, I think I've seen this. I've watched this one.
that one's a
It's more
hard.
it's more Constantine and Etrigan, which I love.
That is a
Anyway,
hard R. Like
yeah,
people get fucking brutally murdered in that movie.
yeah.
So yeah, let's go to our ratings. Let's go with we rated on 3 prongs, we rated on story, we rated on art style, we rated on voice acting. Um uh let's go with the first one, art style. Luke, what
I'm
do you
gonna
think?
go. I'm gonna go. Again, the only thing that dampers my mood because there's a lot of fucking cool shit in this movie.
And
The only thing that I didn't like.
if to be fair, when these DC animated movies are in the same continuity, their art style is pretty consistently the same throughout. You know what I mean? So it's kind of
Because
hard to rate on this, but regardless,
the only thing, because like I look at like animation mistakes, kind of
consistency.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, because the thing that I don't like is just the ride in the Batmobile when Dead Man's in the back seat. He just kind of goes in and out of transparency. And I don't care for that.
I didn't notice that. I don't. I
So I'm actually only gonna go 6.5 for the animation
wow.
because like I said, that's the only thing that I had a problem with because there's a lot of more things that are so cool and they did so well. But that's just me nitpicking, to be honest.
That's what I'm telling you, man. You and I are DC fanboys, so it's kind of hard because I don't think there's really any bad DC animated movies out there. It's really hard to find. Um, just because I don't like halves, I'll go 6. um, because I'm trying to be like, because that perfect 21 is out there, and I just don't, I'm trying to be cautious with it. Okay, so 6.5 for Luke, 6 for me. Let's go to story. I'll say it right now. I'll take the lead on this one. I love this story. I'll give it a 7. I really dug the story. Oh God.
I might just have to give it a 0.5 because of
Oh
Swamp
my
Thing and
gosh.
Batman. Swamp
Fucking
Thing and Batman. They serve no
that's
purpose other
that.
than to kind of push the storyline.
So what do you get? 6.5 on that too?
Yeah.
You know what? That's fair. I feel like
So I'm at 13.
as a swamp boy, it's a swamp boy. As a swamp
As a
thing,
Swamp Boy.
as a swamp boy myself, as a, as a swamp thing
Yeah.
stand myself, I understand it. But again, I hate halves. I hate halves. So I'm at 13. You're at 12. Oh no, we're at the
I'm
same.
at 13. I'm
Yeah,
at
because you had
13.
6.5 each. um. So all right, let's wrap
Casting.
this. That's right. Voice cast. I will say this: Swamp Thing's voice is sex, dude. Dude, that voice for Swamp Thing made my pants tight. I'm like, all
Which
right,
again, underutilized.
underutilized because it's such a fucking good voice, so good. Um, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough for me. You go first.
I might just give it a straight 6. So 19.
19. I'm trying to look up the cast because I want to give that man. I want to give that man his flowers. Um, Roger Cross, you fucking killed it. This Swamp Thing. Let me tell you,
Yeah, he's good, man.
it's so good.
I don't.
I want to say, dude, I really enjoyed this movie, but I don't know if it's a 21. That's the problem. I don't know if it's a blackjack. Um,
I get the casting though was pretty solid
I'll give it a
because
7.
they got
It's
the.
still a 20. It's a 20 out of 21. I'll give it a 7 for voice.
I give it a 19 because God, I mean honestly, I might give it a 6.5.
Oh my god, you pussy.
No, I might. I'll give the casting a 7. Honestly, I don't have any problems with the casting. I was trying to find a problem with it. I don't have a
I'm
problem
trying
with
to
it.
reconsider because I think you got a good point on the fucking Batman and Swamp Thing being kind of pointless in this.
Because technically, my rating will be a 20.
Yeah, I'll give it a 22.
Just because the casting, there really is no problem with the casting.
Honestly, the most fun about doing this show is I am pleasantly surprised by like I really am. A lot of these movies I'm pleasantly surprised by of how much, and it might be just because of you and I having this love for DC, but like these DC animated movies are just so good, and it's like
They are.
I would love to do Drawn to Marvel, but like Marvel doesn't even fucking try. Like they don't even bother.
Yeah. Nah. Because they don't have to, because they know the cash grab is the
Well, they
fucking
got all the MCU
the
movies. They
live
don't even,
action.
yeah, they don't even give a
Yeah.
shit. All
Which is
right. Well,
fine. Which is fine.
that's our opinion. That's our review of Justice League.
If you don't like it, then fuck you.
Yeah, get your own opinion, you piece of shit.
No, you're not allowed. You can't
Hot
have
take.
one.
Can I just say though, it's a little annoying that this wasn't on HBO Max or Max, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. No, what's funny, what is fucking funny,
I had it, dude. Did you have to pay $4? I didn't because my wife had bought some things with during Prime days, so I had credit build up, so I didn't have to pay anything to rent it. But it's a little annoying that I had to go to Prime to watch it.
No, what's stupid, what is fucking absolutely a joke, is that it's not on HBO Max. But I have Prime,
Mm-hmm.
and it said we can rent this movie for $3.99, or you can watch it for free if you start a free trial of Max.
Oh, that's what I mean. That doesn't make any
I was
sense.
like, what?
Because I went back to the Max app to see if it was even on there, and it's not.
That's what I'm saying. It don't make sense because you can watch it with Max through Prime, but it's not on Max.
Yeah. So did you pay the $4 to watch it?
No, I started my free 7-day trial for it, and I'm gonna cancel it like right now
because you have my.
because I have yours. And I'm like, this is stupid.
Why? Why is that the one DC animated movie that's not on Max?
Yeah, it makes no sense because you have the other ones.
Yeah, they have
like everything
Apocalypse
else.
War and all that. Everything else, like what the fuck?
Like what was your idea that what we can't have all of them? We're gonna take this one off. But the fact that it's a free trial through HBO,
but it doesn't even exist on the app. Like what the
that's
fuck?
what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. So for that, you just lost another point.
Yeah, I agree. 19. You lost a point.
Stupid.
Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do next because it'll be your birthday and we'll be in person. So I don't know what we're gonna do for that. Because this was coming out the 29th, or it's coming out the first
30th,
the first Monday of August. So I don't know whenever that is. Or no, wait. We're recording on a Saturday. No, it'll be the 31st of July, and then I don't know. But we're recording on your birthday, so I don't know what we're gonna do. But
we're gonna get frothy. Is what we're gonna do.
We might do a commentary. We might do a episode. We don't know what we're gonna do with Drawn to DC. We do another fuck.
We're gonna get weird with it.
Yeah. Might get naked. I don't know.
We're gonna animate our own movie.
I wish.
Me too.
All right. We'll see what happens next week. Will we continue the DCAMU? I don't know. We might.
Keep on trying.
Keep on
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.